another video from oorail. In this video we're going to show you how to do a repair on a class 91 DVT. It should hopefully be pretty apparent, but if you look here on the side, the bogey is actually touching up against the frame. So while it's okay to go when it's basically being pulled, when the DVT is the actual driving vehicle, it can actually cause the train to derail or get caught on corners. So it's interesting that it works okay when it's a trailing car, but when it's the driving car, it has a problem on the track. And basically, this particular locomotive have been stored in probably someone's attic. It's something I picked up off of eBay recently, and as a result, the chassis itself, or the frame, is slightly warped. So I was able to pick up a replacement frame. That's pretty straightforward. We're just gonna pull the bogies out, pull the accessories out, and make the change. Now, there is one thing you should take note, is this front part right here is black on some of the DVTs, but if I pan it over here, you can see on this particular DVT right there, it's actually white. So what I'm going to do is, for now, I'm not going to worry about it, but at some point I will probably paint that white just to keep it consistent, but it's probably going to be pretty tricky to get the white the same. So I'm going to show you how to do this in just a second, but before I do that, since it's been a while since I've done a layout update, I did actually take some time to clean up a little bit. So I just wanted to show you guys what I had done here. So this is actually a fairly cheap IKEA shelf. It's a floor standing shelf, and as you can see there, it works pretty well to store stuff like the paints, some other accessories, some tools, and so on. So I know some folks have been asking me how I store this stuff and so on. So there you can go. You can see some of the supplies that I have: some tape, some glue gun, some paint, paper clips, just basically household stuff. Alright, and for some reason, if you're interested in the type of shelf unit that is, it's actually Livery, and there's the code for it, and like I said, it's from IKEA. Alright, so I'm going to go and loosen the connectors on this a little bit. So there's a clip here, there's a clip here, and then there's clips on the rear. So I'm going to go and loosen these up, and we'll continue in just a minute. So what I've done is basically just pried these away manually from the bogey itself, and it lifts pretty much straight off. So we're going to put this to one side, and as you can see, there's not much to it. We have the seats here, which should come off pretty easily. There are the two buffers, which should just hopefully pull out. Okay, it looks like these may actually be glued in place, so we have to fish out some replacement buffers for those. So next thing I'm going to do is basically remove the bogies instead. And to do that, I'm just going to use two small flathead screwdrivers. I'm going to flip that over and back, like so. So basically, while pulling on the back of the bogey, you just need to carefully squeeze these in. One side there's a like so, and it comes off, and you basically repeat the same thing on the other side. Very gently. push that in, pulling on the bogey, and it pops right out. So what we're going to do is just a quick test. So we're going to take this and pop it back in place there. Take the rear one and pop it back in place like so. And as you can see there, it no longer has the problem where it's touching up against the rear there, so that's a good sign. It means it was the frame that was warped. So the only thing that we have a problem with now is that we're going to have to get this weight out. So if you give me a few minutes, I'm going to go take a look and see if I can figure this out. So to remove the rivet, it was actually pretty straightforward. I took a small screwdriver and basically worked around in a circle until the rivet there came out, and then the weight just comes out like that. It's pretty straightforward. As you can see here, the code numbers match. This one here is L6841. You can see they're both the same. So I'm going to go, this is the old one. Now unfortunately someone has glued the buffers into this, so I'm going to have to go up on eBay and find myself some replacement buffers. But I'm going to look the code up first, just in case I may have some of these buffers laying around. So to finish this off, we just basically drop that in like so, and then we'll take the rivet and just put it back in place over like so. And what we're going to have to do now is just take the screwdriver and work the rivet around until it gets down and in place. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so the rivet isn't being my friend, so what I'm going to do instead is use some electrical tape. So I'm going to cut off a small strip of electrical tape and double back it. So probably nothing more than about half the length of your thumb if you're an adult. And if you're a kid, so I'm going to take that, I'm just going to double it over and drop it in here. So we'll drop that in like so. You can see there it's it is doubled over. Take enough like this, so you can see it's doubled over, and we're just going to drop the magnet in place, or the weight in place. It's not a magnet. You can see it's doing the same thing the rivet is doing. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a small strip and stick it over where the rivet would have been to keep it in place. So, very small strip, flip it over, and just place it over there. And electrical tape makes a very good replacement for the rivet, and that's not going anywhere. Okay, so the final thing left to do is to reinstall the chassis here, and it should be relatively straightforward. Just click in place here. And there you have it. It is looking a little bit better than it was before. So now I'm going to go test it out on the track. And of course you will notice that we're missing the front buffers, and we'll have to do something about that. And unfortunately it is definitely glued in there. So we will have to either figure out a way to get those out of there without breaking them, or figure out a way to basically replace them So for now, we'll run it without the buffers and see how it works on the track.